Hi. Welcome to the History House. I'm Arma Saeed and you are watching the History of November 4th on your favorite The History House YouTube channel. Please watch the video till the end so that you will know about the births and deaths on this day. Do not forget to subscribe the channel in order to get daily updates. November 4th is the 308th day of the year, 309th in leap years in the Gregorian calendar. 57 days remain until the end of the year. 1429 Armagnac-Burgundian Civil War, Joan of Arc liberates Saint-Pierre-le-Moûtier. 1501 Catherine of Aragon, later Henry VIII's first wife, meets Arthur Tudor, Henry VIII's older brother. They would later marry. 1576 80 Years' War, in Flanders, Spain captures Antwerp. After 3 days the city is nearly destroyed. 1677 The future Mary II of England marries William, Prince of Orange. They later jointly reign as William and Mary. 1737 The Teatro di San Carlo, the oldest working opera house in Europe, is inaugurated in Naples, Italy. 1780 The rebellion of Tupac Amaru II against Spanish rule in the Viceroyalty of Peru begins. 1783 Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's Symphony No. 36 is performed for the first time in Linz, Austria. 1791 Northwest Indian War, the Western Confederacy of American Indians wins a major victory over the United States in the Battle of the Wabash. 1798 Beginning of the Russo-Ottoman siege of Corfu. 1839 Newport Rising, the last large-scale armed rebellion against authority in mainland Britain. 1847 Sir James Young Simpson, a Scottish physician, discovers the anaesthetic properties of chloroform. 1852 Camillo Benso, Count of Cavour, becomes the Prime Minister of Piedmont Sardinia, which soon expands to become Italy. 1864 American Civil War, Confederate troops bombard a Union supply base and destroy millions of dollars in material at the Battle of Johnsonville. 1868 Camagüey, Cuba, revolts against Spain during the 10 Years' War. 1890 City and South London Railway, London's first deep-level tube railway opens between King William Street and Stockwell. 1918 World War I, the armistice of Villa Giusti between Italy and Austria-Hungary is implemented. 1921 The Saalschutz Abteilung, Hall Defense Detachment, of the Nazi Party is renamed the Sturmabteilung, Storm Detachment, after a large riot in Munich. 1921 Japanese Prime Minister Hara Takashi is assassinated in Tokyo. 1922 In Egypt, British archaeologist Howard Carter and his men find the entrance to Tutankhamun's tomb in the Valley of the Kings. 1924 Nellie Taylor Ross of Wyoming becomes the first female elected as governor in the United States. 1936 Spanish Civil War, Largo Caballero reshuffles his war cabinet, persuading the anarcho-syndicalist CNT to join the government. 1939 World War II, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt orders the United States Customs Service to implement the Neutrality Act of 1939, allowing cash and carry purchases of weapons by belligerents. 1942 World War II, disobeying a direct order by Adolf Hitler, General Field Marshal Erwin Rommel begins a retreat of his forces after a costly defeat during the Second Battle of El Alamein. The retreat would ultimately last 5 months. 1944 World War II, the 7th Macedonian Liberation Brigade liberates Bitola for the Allies. 1952 The United States government establishes the National Security Agency, or NSA. 1956 Soviet troops enter Hungary to end the Hungarian Revolution against the Soviet Union that started on October 23. Thousands are killed, more are wounded, and nearly 250,000 leave the country. 1960 At the Kasekela chimpanzee community in Tanzania, Dr. Jane Goodall observes chimpanzees creating tools, the first ever observation in non-human animals. 1962 The United States concludes Operation Fishbowl, its final above-ground nuclear weapons testing series, in anticipation of the 1963 Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. 1966 The Arno River floods Florence, Italy, to a maximum depth of 6.7 meters (22 feet), leaving thousands homeless and destroying millions of masterpieces of art and rare books. Also Venice was submerged on the same day at its record all-time aqua altar of 194 centimeters (76 in). 1970 Vietnam War, the United States turns over control of the air base at Binh Thuy in the Mekong Delta to South Vietnam. 1970 Salvador Allende takes office as President of Chile, the first Marxist to become president of a Latin American country through open elections. 1973 The Netherlands experiences the first car-free Sunday caused by the 1973 oil crisis. Highways are used only by cyclists and roller skaters. 1979 Iran hostage crisis, a group of Iranian college students overruns the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and takes 90 hostages. 1980 Ronald Reagan is elected the 40th President of the United States, defeating incumbent Jimmy Carter. 1993 China Airlines Flight 605, a brand new 747-400, overruns the runway at Kai Tak Airport. 1995 Israel-Palestinian conflict, Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin is assassinated by an extremist Israeli. 2002 Chinese authorities arrest cyber-dissident He Depu for signing a pro-democracy letter to the 16th Communist Party Congress. 2008 Barack Obama becomes the first person of biracial or African American descent to be elected President of the United States. 2010 Aero Caribbean Flight 883 crashes into Guatemala, Sancti Spíritus. All 68 passengers and crew are killed. 2010 Qantas Flight 32, an Airbus A380, suffers an uncontained engine failure over Indonesia shortly after taking off from Singapore, crippling the jet. The crew managed to safely return to Singapore, saving all 469 passengers and crew. 2015 A cargo plane crashes shortly after takeoff from Juba International Airport in Juba, South Sudan, killing at least 37 people. 2015 A building collapses in the Pakistani city of Lahore resulting in at least 45 deaths, and at least 100 injured. Births on this day 30th of October. 1987 Zac Efron American actor, singer. 1984 Lindsey Vonn American skier. 1960 Jean-Claude Van Damme Belgian martial artist, actor, director. 1921 Jesse Helms American politician. 1919 Pierre Trudeau Canadian politician, 15th Prime Minister of Canada. Deaths on this day 30th of October. 1973 Leo Strauss German, American philosopher. 1931 Thomas Edison American businessman, invented the light bulb, phonograph. 1871 Charles Babbage English mathematician, engineer, invented the difference engine. 1744 Sarah Churchill, Duchess of Marlborough. 1541 Margaret Tudor English wife of James IV of Scotland. Thanks a lot for watching the History House YouTube channel. Please like this video. And subscribe the channel for latest stories on daily basis.